And how should we introduce this joint?
Man, that's a good question.
This is like 2024 end of year timestamp. You feel me?
2024 end of the year timestamp. It's only right that we, start off this new year with our origins.
Reminiscing and stuff, man.
Reminiscing on the good times.
You dig? And then like, how long have we known each other, man?
It's been over a decade, man.
For real?
Yeah, it's been.
Damn.
I've known you since I was 18, bro.
You 28 now?
Oh, I'm 29 now.
29? Damn.
It's been over a decade.
That's crazy.
Wait, let me see I made Henny what year? Let's see, it's 18? Nah, 19. 19, so it has been a decade. It's been a decade. Yeah, because I met you, I think in the wintertime when I made Henny. So, yeah, it was like that first year it was out.
Mm-hmm. So, all right, let me ask you this. From the point that you made Henny to now, right? How do you feel your music has, or like your idea of music has evolved since then?
Wow. Well, my idea of music has turned more into something of maturity. So before, I think I romanticized some of the trauma in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I lose my virginity, my yearning for love. I overly romanticized it to gloss over, you know what I'm saying, how tragic it really was, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't really want to lose my virginity at no house party. But, at the time, all my homies hyped me up like, this is what's hot. So, I made a hot record off that. But now, my music is more complacent. Well, not even complacent. It's more of me looking within myself, pulling out something deeper, whether that's something sad, whether it's painful. Notice my music has become a lot colder, but it's a lot more refined because I'm still taking the elements of what made my Young Fun records hot and incorporating that into the coolness of me reflecting over my life. I'd say for sure it's become more mature, more refined.
Yeah, facts, man. That's a vital decade, 18 to 28. That's ill, bro. That's real ill. When I think about my art in the past decade, the same, kind of like along the same parallel as you. When I was creating artwork, when you knew me in the 757, it was all about the beauty of a woman, and I was trying to portray the beauty of a woman through my paintings, but in a regal manner. And the reason why I dove deep into that subject matter was because that was my experiences as, a young man in his mid and late 20s. So from 18 to 30, pretty much like all that I was trying to surround myself with was beautiful woman, beautiful black woman.
I remember.
And that was that, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's crazy because like I used to catch a lot of flack about that, but then I was like, that's all I see, that's all I know. I actually, this is in my life, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I wanted to portray women in the most regal manner that I could, whether it's a nude painting that I'm doing or abstract painting, whatever it was, And now it's just, what's the depth of the art, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just like how you said, you had this experience, you were hyped up by the people who was in your circle, and now you're like, okay, well, what's the definition of me for real?
Exactly. What's that true conveying of the soul? We can see that in your work, the maturity of the pieces that you've been creating. You are always an amazing, talented artist, defining the beauty of black women or defining the beauty of black women through body art. And now it seems that your pieces are capturing the beauty of black women in different lights, whether she's sitting on the bed, whether she's contemplating about her life, whether she's in love. And I know that you have found love as you have matured.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about how love has changed your art?
Tremendously. My love with my wife now really changed me as a man. And it's wild because what was important to me before I found love, I realized that has evolved tremendously. You know, whereas like when you just in the scene, right? Single man running around, what's important to you is just on the surface.
Right.
When I got deeper and deeper and deeper into my relationship with my wife, and you know, like years are passing by, you know, I'm staying true and honest to her. What became important to me now is principle, is honor, is loyalty. You know, when you look at a woman and you think like, well, I wonder what kind of mother this woman would be. I wonder what she would be like in a household. Can I leave her with everything that I know that's mine and not think twice about it?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so many things became relevant and important to me, but then it wasn't even just on her end, it was also on my end. You feel me? And you can only expect for somebody to be a reflection of who you are. So if I want a woman of honor, principle, and loyalty, I have to be a man of honor, principle, and loyalty.
Right.
And that really just evolved my way of thinking, evolved who I am as a man in this world. It made me look at the men who were in my life who influenced me, you know, and most importantly, it made me look at the way I was living. You know, through my relationship, I quit drinking alcohol. I got healthier with my diet. You know, I became more a man of stature versus just a man running around, you know, doing whatever he felt like doing. You know, I became more, what's that word? I became more direct with everything that I need to do in life. Like, everything needed to have a point. It had to have a reason. And if it wasn't growing who I am and benefiting my household, it was irrelevant.
Wow, so you've learned a really strong sense of accountability within yourself.
Yeah.
And I know that, you know, your wife is a huge inspiration for the man that you've become. But you met your wife in Florida. And so, you know, you used to live here in Virginia, but you moved to Florida. Can you tell us a little bit about how Florida has changed you as a person and as an artist?
Florida taught me so many lessons. One thing Florida taught me was, like, early in my move was nobody cares about the position that you put yourself in. Like, nobody cares because it's not their responsibility. When I had that reality, I was like, okay, I could either be here doing the same things that I was doing when I was living in Virginia or when I was living in New York, or I can do things that will create value to who I am. And there's a crossroad to that. If you fucking up in life, your value to other people is entertainment. You are their entertainment. Because if you're drunk, you're belligerent, you making mistakes, you creating drama, you're entertaining to other people.
Right.
You feel me? And I tell myself now, don't be the jester of the world.
Don't be the jester.
Don't be it, because it's too easy to do that.
Right.
And Florida is unforgiving. So especially South Florida, this Vice City, is unforgiving. If you gonna dig that hole, Florida is gonna have every tool for you to dig it deeper and deeper and deeper.
Wow.
You feel me? And you know, that's something that I experienced when I lived in New York, but I was too dumb, deaf, and blind to realize what I was doing to myself. And so, you know, that move just it gave me that realization of reality, you know, and it was like, yo, you could either continue to sink or you could grow. But in order to grow, you have to, what I call, facing mirrors. You know what I'm saying? You gotta look at yourself in the beginning of the day. You gotta look at yourself at the end of the day. You know, what do you want to see when you look at yourself? And if you want to see something that's great, you have to make changes.
Right. I 100% agree with that. You know, you mentioned that when you moved to Florida, to develop as an artist, you couldn't do the same things you did in New York and Virginia as what you did in Florida. Well, you've had incredible growth while you've been in Florida. You've been on panels, you've been featured in galleries, you've had influence in Art Basel. Can you tell us what were some things that you did differently in Florida as an artist that you maybe weren't doing while you were here in Virginia?
Man, you pay attention, bro.
Of course.
Shit. I was more selective with who I network with. You know, and I think that the environment allowed that. You know, Florida is kind of like, you know, there's layers and layers and layers and layers and layers, you know, of just, if you're an artist, there's layers. If you're a musician, there's layers. If you're a tech, you know, professional, there's layers. Versus like, I feel like in Virginia, everywhere you went was the same circle, the same group of people, everywhere you went. If you're in Hampton, you don't see the same faces. If you're in Norfolk, same faces. Portsmouth, same faces. Bobby, same faces. You know what I'm saying? So I think that helped out a lot because I was capable of, you know, if I'm networking with a circle of people in Little Haiti, cool. But everybody that I met there, somebody might live in Opa-locka, somebody might live in Hialeah, somebody might live in Brickell, somebody might live on Miami Beach, they might live in North Miami, they might live somewhere in Broward, you know. So then every person that I met was a whole nother circle of people that I can meet. So it's like when I first started networking was a group of people in Little Haiti. And from there it just spawned. And as it spawned, I was capable of really, because my experience of living in Vibe Beach, living in Brooklyn, and traveling to present my artwork in Atlanta and Baltimore, DC, and these different cities, I was able to really dissect who could help me get to the next levels and who are just going to be right where they're at. And I think that that's what I did different, was that I was just, not so much did different, I was just able to, you know, just maneuver and be selective and just go into these different places and be naturally who I am and attract people, so that way I could see like, all right, what level are you on? All right, cool, I want to be on that level. Let me go ahead and get game from you and figure out who you know. You know, just take away anxiety and just just do it. Because the other beautiful thing is that nobody's gonna judge you. You know what I'm saying? Whereas like, I feel like in the 757, there's a lot of judgmental energy over here. You know what I'm saying? So it just allowed me to freely just be who I am.
So now that you have developed into the artist that you are today, how would you describe who you are now?
Man, I think that that's my biggest victory from 2024. I'm able to see clearly who I am now. You know, I'm able to be a man of stature, be a man of value. Learning how to be loyal helped me a whole lot, you know. And the question was how I see myself now, right? How I see myself now is, I call myself an energy curator. You know, if there's great energies that need to be together, I'm gonna be able to bring those energies together. You know, I've always been a man of my word, but now I can say I'm a man of my word, I'm a man of principle, I'm a man of valor. And when I say this is my value for who I am, there's no question of that. You know, so I just upper echelon, you know what I'm saying?
Upper echelon, the millionaire.
Facts, bro, facts.
Man, I remember coming down to Miami and feeling that you already had the capacity as an energy curator. Um, Having that art show that you had in Little Haiti,
Mm-hmm.
the people, the different groups, different ethnicities that came, people of all age ranges came, and everyone seemed to have the same energy,
Mm-hmm.
enjoyment, and it's reflected in your artwork as well.
Facts, bro. Facts. And that was a vibe, man. It's crazy because that whole exhibit was essentially put on by Muse 305, which is Miami Urban Contemporary Experience. And they're amazing people. They put on so many things in Miami for the Black art community, and it's Haitian owned as well. And really, I wanted to do that as like making up for my 30th birthday, because that was my 35th birthday. And, like, my 30th birthday wasn't it. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like that 3-decade that it was supposed to be.
Right.
So like my 35th, really my 34th and 35th birthday, I was like, I gotta go all out. You know, and that year I just had the opportunity of having that space given to me by Muse for actually the entire month. That was like the finale of the exhibit that I had going on there. And man, it's like all those people that you seen there, you know, it's like layers. There was people there who were there from when I moved down to Miami, Fort Lauderdale. I moved to Fort Lauderdale, but was then in Miami moving around, networking in 2016. And there was people literally there from like almost every year that I had been down there and been meeting people. And then like the performances that people put on, you know, my guy Mako, my homie Marizi, the homie Kim Wasabi, you know what I'm saying? Just great musicians all the way around, you know what I'm saying? And just the fireman, the fire show.
Yeah, like he did like the fire.
Yeah,
Crazy.
you know what I'm saying? And you know, my two body art model, TJ and Michaela, was there, you know what I'm saying? Like, people who just knew me from just me being naturally me. You know, even the food, you know, the lady who catered the food is one of my collectors. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I just pull in from everybody who has put energy into me. You know what I'm saying? Everybody who was there all invested energy into me some way, somehow. And I was able to put that together, you know what I'm saying, and make that environment. You know, it's incredible to be able to do that.
Man, you've been doing this thing since I've known you. I remember first meeting you back in like 2015. And you were living in that apartment in Ghent.
Oh, man,
It was like you and like 4 artists were there. The whole house was covered in
I
nothing but
wasn't living
art.
there. That was Sage's apartment.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I was living in Chesapeake. But yeah, bro, that was, damn, Sage's, I don't even think Sage lives there no more. But yeah, the homie Sage, he was living there with the homie Parrish and a couple other creatives in the 757. But yeah, that place was a vibe, yo.
Super
That was a
huge.
vibe. Yeah.
And speaking of a vibe and reminiscing, you're back in the area now. You're visiting family. How does it feel to be back in the 757 after the adventure and the journey you've been on?
It's surreal, man. I was telling Ike a little bit, like, just coming over here just feels, it's always interesting because, like, you see where, you know, you see who's going forward, who's stayed right where they stayed at when I left. You know, it's 8 years, and you know, there's a lot of artists here that I have so much love and respect for, and I wish that, like we was talking about poetry just a few minutes ago, I wish that more artists would be as active as she is in this area and for this area. You know, another cat, D. Kane. D. Kane,
yeah, I know D. Kane.
He's
Yeah.
active, man.
Very
And
active.
I love how active he is. So me being back here is kind of like, it's cool, but at the same time, I realize how can I say this? I realize how behind the 757 can be when it comes to the art scene. Like, cats be talking about things and I'm like, all right, they was doing that in Florida when I moved to Florida. Y'all just not doing that. You know, I got homies that's doing what you talking about doing 4 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But what I think it is I think that the 757 doesn't have a lack of progression. I think they have a lack of realization of what can actually be. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a big thing for this area.
There was a something in the water, not this past one, I believe the one before he had moved into DC. There was a panel that they did at the Virginia Beach Contemporary Museum, and she like the director of that museum, she's from New York, and she said one advantage of the 757 was that if you go to any other city, everything that you can think of under the sun has been done 7 ways from Sunday. She said here, it's just getting started. Like it hasn't been conceived. So coming back there and coming to a place like Miami where you've seen how advanced it is and coming back, I know it's like that time lapse of like, wow, I've already seen this 7 ways from Sunday. We're thinking something much farther. But for the artists that are here in the 757, what is some advice you would give to how you would develop the area if you just had the green button to say, all right, this is what we're finna do?
Take advantage of technology. Take advantage of everything technology right now. Take advantage of all the AI stuff. Take advantage of all the apps that's out there for creatives. Take advantage of all these new devices that are coming out. Take full advantage of technology, because I feel like technology is going to grow the 757 art scene way more than anything has been capable of growing the 757 art scene. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, even like think about something in the water, you know. I haven't been to one of the festivals yet. I'm hoping to, it's like springtime that Pharrell hosted those, right? I'm hoping, you know, maybe 25 I'll be able to hit it, you know what I'm saying? If not, 26 come back around. But I remember talking to cats that had open mics and telling them like, yo, why don't y'all have a catalog of artists perform, sell tickets, have a headliner, you know, have some other entertainment going on, and have a venue that makes sense. And they're like, yo, that sounds like a great idea. And then go right back into doing an open mic. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, there could have been a something in the water before something in the water. You know what I'm saying? The closest thing to it was the arts. Which the homie Battle, you know, used to host over, I believe, in Newport News. That was the closest thing to it. And even at the arts, Masego performed at one of the arts before, you know?
I remember that.
So that was the closest thing to it, but where was the follow-up?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That would be the other biggest thing. You gotta have follow-up. You know, you gotta have build upon it. You have to, and that's why I say take advantage of all the technology, because that media is going to give you more legs than anything else right now.
I agree with you. We have to get into technology. We need some smart guys, you know what I'm saying, that come stand up. The last question that we got, man, you know, 2025 is breathing down our necks. What's the energy for 2025? What's the mission that we got?
Capitalize on all the energy that, you know, I keep on telling everybody, I gotta make it all make sense now. You know, I gotta make every footstep I've taken, every road that I've traveled, every painting that I've painted, I gotta make it all make sense. You know, so capitalize, make it all make sense, and also create avenues of income that is outside of talent. You know, right now I'm working with 3 business partners of mine they all go-getters. I call us the motion masters. And
That's a good one.
we formed the business Paid to Exist, which is all, you know, media production, content creating, you know, helping other people have the tools that they need in order to market and promote themselves to the highest level. You know, you think about paid to exist. What does that mean to you? Let me ask you that. What does that mean to you? When you hear paid to exist, how do you feel when you hear that?
I feel like literally like the the meaning is in the name itself. Paid to exist, you know. Making a song, getting paid for it. Showing up to an event, I'm getting paid for it. Speaking, I'm getting paid for it. It's really making yourself a brand. And how do you get paid or pull value from your brand? Whether that's monetary value or it's societal value or spiritual value. Are you being paid for your existence?
Exactly, man. That's dope, man. I love that you said that like that too, fam. Yeah, man. We want to get people paid to exist. You know what I'm saying? And like, you know, to expand on that last question, you know, my passion for joining this project is because within my relationship, my self-evolution, the reality is, you know, my wife and I, we don't have children yet, but eventually we're going to have children. I can't pass down talent. I can't expect my children to say I want to be a great artist. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to be a part of something and building something that could give them education and experience at a young age that I didn't have. You know, when I was a teenager, you know, 15, 16 years old, first jobs is fast food restaurants or some BS clothing store. I don't want my children's reality to be that. I want their first job to be in sales, to be in marketing, you know, something that they could learn executive skills. And so that way, by the time they're 18, graduating high school, you know, whether they're going to college or don't want to go to college, you know, they have a skill set and that they could use to make money anywhere. And not just because they could flip some burgers or fold some clothes, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because they could actually sell something. They could actually market something. They could communicate something to the masses of people that will be valuable to anybody, anywhere.
Right.
You know, so yeah, man, getting paid to exist, 2025.
Hey man, we want to see that definitely happen. This is a dope timestamp. Gonna look back on this.
Yeah, man, my man, Vaughn Sensei.
Hey, you know, man of many trades, many hats.
Hey, you about to hit the studio today too, fam.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming to getting back to the booth. The time I wasn't making music, I had the chance to write poetry. I had the chance to host mics. I had the chance to become part of creative collectives and add value to what other people were doing through my natural abilities. And so it feels good to get back to something that was uniquely me, making music and spreading wisdom and knowledge.
That's what's really good. Well, through the music and through the art, we're going to spread that wisdom and knowledge and inspire the people, baby.
Yes, sir.
My man.
You know what I'm saying? You know I love you, my guy.
Love you too, brother, for sure. Peace.
Peace.